What's going on, guys? Thank you for taking the time out to watch this video. Today we're going over a topic of the globalists have been planning. How long have they been planning for? Well, you're going to find out in this video. So without further ado, let's dive right into a couple of videos I'm going to show you, and then we'll move on. So the first video is coming out of the Hindustan Times, and it's about the Prime Minister baits for norms to counter threats posed by cryptocurrency. The first part of it I didn't read because I didn't want to get flagged on YouTube. So when I pull it up, you'll be able to read it. So let's get into it. So here it is. Here's the article. You can find it here. Just go ahead and punch that in and look it up. Or I can leave links down in the description below if you want. Just let me know. But we're going to play this video real quick. We'll talk about it and then move on.
We must also jointly shape global norms for emerging technologies like social media and cryptocurrencies so that they are used to empower democracy, not to undermine it. Excellencies, Namaskar. I am proud to represent the world's largest democracy at this summit. The democratic spirit is integral to our civilizational ethos. Elected Republican city-states such as Lichvi and Shakya flourished in India as far as 2500 years back. The same democratic spirit is seen in the 10th century Uttar Merud inscription that codified the principles of democratic participation. This very democratic spirit and ethos had made ancient India one of the most prosperous. Centuries of colonial rule could not suppress the democratic spirit of the Indian people. It again found full expression with India's independence and led to an unparalleled story in democratic nation building over the last 75 years. It is a story of unprecedented socio-economic inclusion in all spheres. It is a story of constant improvements in health, education, and human well-being at an unimaginable scale. The India story has one clear message to the world that democracy can deliver, that democracy has delivered, and that democracy will continue to deliver. Excellencies, the structural features like multi-party elections, independent judiciary, and free media are important instruments of democracy. However, the basic strength of democracy is the spirit and ethos that lie within our citizens and our societies. Democracy is not only of the people, by the people, for the people, but also with the people, within the people. Excellencies, different parts of the world have followed different paths of democratic development. There is much we can learn from each other. We all need to constantly improve our democratic practices and systems. And we all need to continuously enhance inclusion, transparency, human dignity, responsive grievance redressal, and decentralization of power. In this context, today's assembly provides a timely platform for furthering cooperation among democracies. India would be happy to share its expertise in holding free and fair elections and enhancing transparency in all areas of governance through innovative digital solutions. We must also jointly shape global norms for emerging technologies like social media and cryptocurrencies so that they are used to empower democracy, not to undermine it. Excellencies, by working together, democracies can meet the aspirations of our citizens and celebrate the democratic spirit of humanity. India stands ready to join fellow democracies in this noble endeavor. Thank you. Thank you very much.
So, what I take out of this video is this guy is another pawn. He's another selected by the globalists to talk about democracy.
Prime Minister, there's so much that our countries can and will do together.
Oh shit! And then there's this retard talking. Excuse my French if any kids are watching. I almost want to listen to it just so you guys can see how our president is in such of a decline. He is speaking, and this is back in 2021, on topics that he should not be speaking on, nor should he be on stage, nor should he be anything that has to do with our country, because he doesn't believe in our values. He's a globalist first slash so-called we're running a democracy when we're not. If you look what happened to our last president and how his home got raided. When has that happened in U.S. history? I think Nixon, maybe it might have happened to. Leave comments down below. If I don't know, I'll do more research and look into that myself. But this has never happened before. Why is our last president's home being raided over documents, over stuff being stolen, blah, blah, blah? Is that more of a distraction to keep your mind off of what you should be doing and how you should be getting away from our current failed system that is in place for the last, I don't know how many decades? So I'm curious to hear what this guy has to say, not because I like what he says or how he says it, but let's just listen to it for a second. It wasn't planned in this video, and I just want to hear what he says real quick. We'll stop it. We won't listen to all of it. I can't I can't listen to him at all. I cannot. It just blows my mind how he's even elected. I don't think he's elected. I don't think he runs anything. I think he's just there for a show to put on shits and giggles and to make people become more divided, because that's what they want. They want a divided country, because divided you fall, united you stand. So the more people that are divided against this guy or the last guy or the guy before that, the better it is to control the population. So if we come together and put all of our stupid politics aside, no matter who you voted for, and realize there's something going on that is destroying our nation, the faster you'll realize how to get out of that system and into a new system, and how to use that system to benefit your community, to benefit yourself, to benefit the world, right? So let's listen to this for a couple seconds. Maybe it says it's 2 minutes. It's almost 3 minutes long. I don't know if I can stomach listening to him for 2 minutes, but let's see what he has to say for a couple seconds, if I can get that far.
And I'm committed to making U.S.-India partnership among the closest we have on Earth. I'm looking forward to continuing our conversation today. Mr. Prime Minister, there's so much that our countries can and will do together, and I'm committed to making U.S.-India partnership among the closest we have on Earth.
मुझे विश्वास है कि भारत और अमेरिका की मित्रता, वैश्विक शांति और स्थिरता, प्लेनेट की सस्टेनेबिलिटी और मानव जाति के कल्याण के लिए एक फोर्स फॉर गुड बनी रहेगी। भारत और अमेरिका की स्ट्रेटेजिक पार्टनरशिप सही मायने में एक पार्टनरशिप ऑफ ट्रस्ट है।
Okay, so I can't watch any more of it. Obviously, you're not listening to what this, I don't know what he is, a robot, fake face, whatever he's got going for him, but it's not working. I can't listen to it. I don't want to watch it anymore. It's disturbing how he can sit there, and obviously this guy right here has been either implanted, faked, paid off to agree with this guy, which we know has done nothing but harm this country. So let's move on. Let's get into more things that make you happy, things that we should look forward to in this country, and things that we need to work on. So let's close that out. The next video is coming out of Bloomberg. Not that I care what Bloomberg says, but in this video, there's some really good points on adoption and what Franklin Templins Johnson is doing for the crypto community. So let's listen to this for a minute. We'll talk about it, and then we'll move on to the next topic.
Some people say that one of the best opportunities now is cryptocurrencies, though crypto has had some problems. What do you tell people that say they want to be in cryptocurrencies? Do you offer the opportunity for people to invest in crypto through Franklin Templeton?
Yes, actually we do. So, first of all, I would say that Bitcoin is the greatest distraction from the greatest disruption that is happening in financial services today. So I wish, because every time everybody gets in a conversation about crypto, it leads into a conversation about whether this currency, whether it's Dogecoin or Bitcoin, is of value. Forget that. That's like a religion. You either get a believer or a non-believer, and they're never going to agree. But blockchain as a technology and what it can do is going to be hugely disruptive. So not only is it going to be disruptive on traditional back offices and just create much greater efficiency, but disruption on business models. And I'll give you a couple examples that today you go on Google and they capture 100% of your value on your search via their ads. There's a company that has been set up, and when you use their search engine, they're actually paying you in cryptocurrency for.
So stop her right there. I'm guessing she's talking about Brave. If you guys know another one that she's talking about, leave comments down below.
For some portion of your economic value that you're bringing to the table. There's another company that wants to be the fastest streaming service out there. So when you're watching.
And when she means what she's talking about there, the fastest streaming service in the world, listen to what she has to say on the rest of this topic. And I'm thinking of Theta. Now, there might be others out there that I haven't researched in, and that's why it takes a community to figure out together. And that's what I want to build, a community with you guys, so we can put our minds together and figure out what I don't know, what you don't know, what the next person doesn't know, on how we can build it together so we all can have the same information to best help our communities.
Watching the content. So as I'm watching it on my, say, phone, I'm agreeing to let them cache their content on my phone. So now that you want to watch something, it only has to jump from my device to your device. And they're paying me in their currencies to leverage my device's infrastructure. So now I'm not just a client. I'm capturing the economic value as they grow as a firm. And by the way, I've become part of the infrastructure. They don't have to buy as many computers because they're leveraging their client's infrastructure. So the technology enables that kind of disruption. And then, you have new revenue streams, like I think the NBA raised $500 million in selling off NFT video clips. So that's a new stream. I can imagine, we talked about my brother and his role in the San Francisco Giants. You can imagine sports teams. What if you sold 1% of the San Francisco Giants to 100,000 people? And oh, by the way, they get bragging rights that they own it. They own it with their token. Maybe they get special access to the coach who's going to do a post video after the game. Right? It becomes a loyalty program.
Mike, very few CEOs see their stock pop after reporting a $500 million loss, but this indicates that investors believe that you're turning a corner. The question I have for you is, if you're turning a corner, where do you put yourself in the industry now? Are you going to start throwing your hat in the ring when it comes to potential beaten down acquisitions, when it comes to deploying capital in a bigger way again?
Yeah, listen, we reported we have over $1 billion in cash. I think that's part of the reason the market likes our stock today. We also, listen, over the last 18 months, we've made over $1 billion. And so while our balance sheet got marked down during the up-down ride, we managed to sell a bunch of assets at good prices. Our operating businesses are doing well. And yeah, we're looking at everything. I'm not in a rush to buy something. I buy something that's going to be an add-on or something strategic. I don't think, somebody waved a magic wand and everything is healed, both in the crypto markets or, quite frankly, in the traditional markets. Right? There was a tremendous amount of damage done in confidence and to balance sheets. I think the worst was over. Right? We put in a fear-based bottom, but rarely do you see V recoveries. And so I think that we're kind of in this for the long haul. And I'm looking at strategic things with a 3 to 4 year horizon, not a 3 to 4 month horizon.
Yeah, speaking of the 3 to 4 month horizon, I rarely ask you for price targets for the year when it comes to Bitcoin and Ethereum. But given we're seeing a merge, given that you have told investors here that we need new energy in this system, where do you think the industry goes this year, given that you still see some choppiness ahead?
Listen, I think the Ethereum merge is a really big story, right? It has been. I remember when I first bought Ethereum, way back in 2015, they were talking about this move from proof of work to proof of stake, and it's finally here, and that gives energy to the space. It's going to reduce the supply of Ethereum that's sold every day dramatically. It's going to reduce the inflation rate, And so I think Ethereum has a real story. And, Bitcoin's story is very much tied to the Fed. And we're still in a really complicated scenario. The last few data releases have started saying, well, geez, maybe that crazy idea of a soft landing is possible. I'm still really skeptical of the soft landing, but the market's telling you they're believing in it. And so assets are going up. I think the Fed's going to be able to stop raising rates. Wednesday's a big deal.
Yeah.
Wednesday's number. If it's a horrific print, you're going to see another sell-off in fixed income and probably sell-off in risk assets. But I think, listen, what you saw with BlackRock, putting Aladdin into play with crypto, that's actually unbelievably important for our space. That's saying.
But I know it's like perhaps, dare I say, in your benefit to say institutional money is coming and it's coming to remain. But can you give us any anecdotal evidence, other than, of course, the BlackRock deal, the Quimis? How much are we seeing institutional flows getting more confident coming in? Or is the pot that we've seen that's seen Ether almost double, is that more a retail play at the moment?
I think there was certainly people that had gotten short, hedge funds that had gotten short, and there was short covering that helped drive that. There's some retail coming in, but we are seeing institutions. We travel a ton and meet with people. They never kind of backed off their interest, and so we're not seeing huge institutional flows, to be fair, but we're not seeing anyone back away, and so the kind of put is there that's giving businesses the confidence to keep hiring. Right. I looked at my business really hard, and my first instinct was we've got to cut a lot.
Yeah.
And when we pushed and kind of relitigated every single one of our business lines, we ended up cutting very little. And we're actually going to, end the year with probably 25-30% more employees than we started the year with.
Can I talk a little bit more about your business, Mike? It's interesting. Mark Palmer over at BTIG puts out a note saying that the relative outperformance of you compared to the peers is due to the company's risk management. I'm curious how any new sort of risk management policies you put in place after Terra, Luna, 3 Arrows. What changes have you made?
Well, listen, we've always had a pretty practical risk management approach. I came from that business. Chris Farrar, our president, ran a credit business. And so in credit, we've got concentration limits on any one name. We always are collateralized in the crypto space. And so we're often very well over collateralized. In the markets businesses, we trade with stop losses where appropriate. Same thing, concentration limits. We've got a really active derivative business, and we use that for hedging. We were able to convince a lot of our mining customers to do structured notes around their loans. And so a lot of our miners didn't have any real issues because they got taken out of their position on the down move. And so it's a combination of, I think, kind of practices that we all learned at places like Goldman Sachs and Fortress and JP Morgan that we migrated into the crypto space.
Mike, it looks like there's some belt tightening in risk management across the industry, and you're doing some belt tightening as you filed a claim against 3 Arrows Capital. When you're looking at these firms who are looking to make their investors whole again, what do you expect? What do you expect back when you face a situation like this?
Oh, very, very little. In some of these situations. Listen, we've had one credit loss in the history of our company, and I disclosed the name today. It's a manageable loss relative to our balance sheet, relative to our credit business. Our credit business actually was profitable on the quarter. I feel pretty good about that. What we saw away from us was huge concentration in this one name, which created a lot of the systemic risk that we saw and the cascading of Bitcoin all the way to 18,000. I don't have a crystal ball. When I add up the total claims that people filed, it doesn't feel like there'll be a lot that comes back in that case. You've got Celsius, you've got Voyager, you've got lots of other places where both institutions and retail lost a lot of money.
Right.
And there'll be a business for that where people are bidding on.
I want to double down on retail because you brought it up. You mentioned earlier that you're skeptical of a soft landing. And to the extent that means you mean there's a recession coming, that it'll be a hard landing, how much money will there really be on the sidelines to put into crypto, let alone any risk asset?
Listen, the Fed increased money supply at a rate that we've never seen before, and they're slowly withdrawing that. There's still a ton of money in the system, right? There was excess savings in retail. That's getting worn down some, but there's monster cash holdings. People got really nervous. I mean, we had a pretty dramatic sell-off in the first half of the year. And so I don't think we're going to see what we saw last year when money's flowing in and it's all booming. But I don't think it's Armageddon here yet either. And so, again, will Bitcoin get through 30,000 on this move up? We'll see. I'm doubtful. I think we're going to probably be in this range now. I'd quite frankly be happy if we're in a 22,000 or 20,000, 30,000 range for a while, with the next move breaking up. Ethereum's got a little bit more juice. It's at the top of its range. It can, takes out 2,200. It could go higher. That's kind of a real story. But I don't see, the mania that we saw in 2021 or 2017 reigniting. Listen, I hope I'm wrong.
So with that, guys, let me know what you got out of the video. Leave comments in the comment description below. Moving on to our next topic. This is how you get out of the hands of the globalist and what their plans are for your financial situation. What I found is the Divi project. You can launch a masternode. You can stake with Divi. You can invest in Bitcoin. So you can start off with $10, as much as, as low as $10 or $5, and then move all the way up to tens of thousands of dollars. And you take those rewards and you put them into the Divi project, which is a decentralized wallet, decentralized asset, and you let it grow. Once you let it grow, you then move it into the cryptocurrency. I'd like to say Bitcoin, because we know it's a store of value, and you let it sit. I looked at an article earlier today where there's more people holding for 5 years, 4 to 5 years, than there is any other crypto asset. And why is that? Because we know where it's going in the future. More and more countries are adopting Bitcoin. More and more countries are making Bitcoin legal tender. Also, you have on the other side of the aisle, more and more countries developing their own CBDCs, which run off the blockchain technology. So is Bitcoin. So what do you want to be involved in? A government asset, which is the dying fiat system? They're just going to turn it into the blockchain and tell you that it's all good and it's never going to be corrupted again? Or do you want to have control over your own fiat? So we're going to listen to a video. It's really short. Nick Saponaro on Twitter talking about the Divi project and where it's going.
In a world where everything seems crazy right now, everything is just gone off the wall. No matter how you look at it, no matter what side of the fence you stand on, shit's crazy. And I'm just glad that in this crazy world, we have the ability to be self-sovereign. And I'm glad that our project has focused so heavily on being self-sovereign and creating a self-custodial solution for people, so that no matter what happens, you always have full control, at least of your money, at least of your crypto. I think now more than ever, that's extremely important. So no matter what we do in the next 5 years, the past 5 years have established at least something that can benefit even a small subset of humanity. And that's something that I think everyone should be proud of. And I know that it's something that makes me feel good. And it's something to be talked about, I think. In a world where everything's...
So yeah, that was his speech on the Divi project. If you don't know what it is, look into it. Reach out to me if you need help into getting involved with it. It's thediviproject.org. You can find out all their information, their white paper, their wallets that they have. They have a desktop wallet. They have a phone wallet. You can launch a masternode. You can do staking. And these are huge. And right now, the token, let's look into it, right here is running around close to 2 cents. So almost, it's 1.894. It's up in the last hour 29%. It's down a little bit, but also their soccer season hasn't started yet. So once their soccer season starts, more and more people will get into the space of the Divi project and understand it. A lot of people don't understand it because they don't know about it. They don't do a lot of advertisement. So if you look at Luna, if you look at what's the other one, Solana, that's been having issues. They did a lot of marketing. They did a lot of promising this, promising that, and not delivering, except for getting hacked and downtime and this and that, where the Divi project has not. So they want to build a solid foundation and then work their way up from there. And that's what I like about the Divi project. It's 379 right now in the top, it's in the top 400 at least, but there's not been a lot of advertising except for their contract and then a few other things like them promising on a wallet that's mobile so anybody can use it across the world as long as they have a phone that will support their operating system. It's a no-brainer to me because you can launch a masternode and stake. So with that being said, guys, I won't take too much more of your time. I hope you like this video. Today we got Bitcoin coming in at 23,000, 24,000. It just jumped up. That's the second or third time it's hit 24,000. We got XRP coming in at 38 cents. Polygon, this is another project to watch out for. I think they're going to blow Solana out of the water. They're going to blow a lot of these other projects out of the water. Litecoin's another one of my favorite. Sound money for the digital age. Yes, I did get that from Clint Westwood. If he's listening, hopefully he is. And I truly believe it. I use it. I have the Litecoin card. I have the Litecoin app. I have everything Litecoin because it's fast. It's peer-to-peer transaction. They have MWeb, which is a privacy-based token that now you can do things like if you want to go pay for a bike that you find at the garage sale and you hand someone dirty fiat money, now you can just pay them in Litecoin. So you can use cryptocurrency on a day-to-day basis, and Litecoin provides that. Cash App is another way to use cryptocurrency on a day-to-day basis, but there's a little more KYC into Cash App depending on how much you transfer through it, but it's also another good way. FTX token is from an exchange, so is Chronos, crypto.com. Cosmos, great project. Look into them. Stellar is another great project. Look into them. Algorand. I mean, all these projects I have up there to watch. I'm invested in most, but not all. But I'm watching them. So what you want to do is create your own, your own portfolio of projects that you're interested in, because there's so many. You can't just look at them all every single day. It'll make your mind go crazy. But if you pick a few that you really like or that you're interested in finding out more, I mean, look at this. Hedera H bar. I remember when this was like 20 or 10 cents, somewhere around there. Now it's up to, less than 10 cents. Sorry. Now it's up to 79.29. And I can see this project going higher only because if you click into it, and we'll go over this real quick. You guys don't have to finish watching it. If you do stop now, please share the video. Please get it out there. I want to build the community. I want to build the channel. I want to help other people understand what cryptocurrencies is all about, how to get them involved. There's links down in the description below. You go to hdera.com right here, and it'll show you what they're all about. If you go to their network, their token service, what they are, smart contracts, how it works, explores. What I looked at was governance. We have a big issue with governance and governing of the people. So when I looked into their governance and their governance council and looked in who's their players, these are some of the players that always get bailed out when times are rough. Why is that? The only thing that I like is Chainlink is involved, but I don't like that Boeing's involved, Google's involved. Yes, if we look at it as a business aspect, these are big players that are joining in to build this platform, this token, this altcoin. But the corruption involved into bailing out these other platforms that are helping these guys is kind of sketchy to me. And that's just my personal opinion. Maybe they are going to do things for good to help the everyday average Joe. But as of now, until I see otherwise, I don't see how they're going to help the everyday average American or the everyday average human or person or whatever in other countries. Right now, it looks like they're looking out for themselves. They got a lot of big players right here. I mean, IBM. Do you trust them? Do you trust Boeing? Do you trust Google? The one that's been, yeah, I'm just going to stop right there. I don't want to get my channel knocked out because I want to help you guys and bring more attention to certain platforms that may be good or may be bad to your, to your eyes, and then you make that decision. So let's go back to what my overall watch list was. And if you need help creating a watch list, we can do that. Just let me know and I'll help you create a watch list. So, like I said, these are the coins that I'm watching. There's certain reasons why I watch them. ICP, the Sandbox, that's a gaming platform. Tezos, I've been involved in Tezos since they were at 10 cents, 5 cents. Look what they're at now, $1.88. Quant, Maker, I've been talking about almost every video. How is it up so much? We'll dive into it, look into it. Helium is another token. You can mine helium through basically using Wi-Fi and a router and mine helium. Phantom, the basic attention token, I have a couple videos on that. I plan on, for my Patreons, if you guys are listening, if you're watching this video, I will bring you more content on the BAT token, how you can earn just by using their browser. And what do you do with those earnings is up to you, but I'll show you what I've been doing, how I've been collecting the BAT token to help my portfolio grow. Because do I want to keep holding on to BAT? No, but it pays you in BAT. So you take the BAT and you put it into another project that you see as growing or that can grow or that you want to hold long term. Zilliqa is another one. Thanks to shout out to Litecoin Leader. He taught me about Zilliqa a long time ago and I got in early. And now look, it's at 4 cents. When he taught me about it, was over here and less. It was about a penny or less. Hot, whatever you want to call it. It's the hot, decent project. AMP, they run on the Flexa network. They're peer-to-peer transactions, quick, cheap fees. The OMG network, check them out. Digibyte is another decentralized platform like Litecoin, except for I think it's going to be in the future when these projects start dropping off and they're no longer around. Digibyte is going to be one of those ones that stick around. Why? Because they have a strong, stable foundation. I worked in construction, so I know what foundation is. You have to start with a strong foundation in order to build your building on top of it. You have to pour the concrete right. You have to have inspected. You have to vibrate the concrete. You have to do all these things to make sure that that foundation is going to hold up however many pounds or whatever it is you're going to put on top of it long term. And that's one of the projects that has that foundation. And you don't see a lot of hype around it like you did Solana or Luna or Voyager or Celsius. All those platforms had a lot of hype, but look, they fell really quick. Why is that? Because they didn't have a strong foundation. Persistence is another one I've been looking into, but last but not least, and it's only last on this list, I have another list that I've been looking at, I'll bring that out later, is Divi. And we just watched a video from Nick Saponaro. If you go into my other videos, there is another video that shows Nick Saponaro and the Divi project talking about why you should invest with them, why it's a solid platform, and so far they have stayed true to their word and have made a solid foundation. They don't do a lot of advertising yet. Their advertising is coming, but they want their foundation to be solid. So when they start advertising and going, hey, look at us, there's a reason to look at them besides their beautiful lights and glamour and Hollywood and all this other BS that you really don't want out of a token. With that being said, guys, I hope you liked today's content. If you did, share, like, leave comments down below. Let me know what you guys want to see. You guys are my community. You guys are the reason why I do this every day or every other day or 3 times a week, once a week, whatever it is. I want to help provide content that I learn because it takes hours and hours of research. It's not just, oh, I can just pull up 5 seconds of things that I want to talk about and bring it to you. No, I got to research these projects. I got to bring it to your attention. I got to make sure I know what I'm talking about. If I don't know what I'm talking about, that's where you guys come in and go, no, you're wrong. This project is this and that. And then we can have a debate. It's not like one-sided, kind of like where this country is going. If you have a debate against what the other side is saying, they just cancel you out. No, I want to have that debate and we can talk. We can come on my show. If you guys have other platforms that maybe want to debate or talk or, have other opinions, that's what I'm all about. I reached out to other people. I've talked to Economic Ninja. I've been on Mind Your Biz. I've been on The Uplifters. I've been on Chopping with Fire. They're another great podcasting platform that is helping entrepreneurs grow their businesses. So there's all kinds of opportunities out there, guys. Once again, I'm going to cut it there. Hope you like this content. Just let me know in the comments below what you guys want to see, what you guys want more of, and then I'll make sure I provide it. That being said, hope you have a great night, great morning, wherever you are in the world. Take care and God bless.